All right guys, so today we're going to talk about the most important tool you could possibly have when owning a BMW. Now, there's a few things. You guys also may use the laptop with ISTA, the big Altel scanners, all that kind of stuff. There's a time and place for everything. However, we're talking about now something you could bring with you on the road. Now, this is not a sponsored video. I have no affiliation with this company at all. This is my personal findings of what the best scanner to use when you're on the road, on a trip, something you keep in your glove box. It doesn't matter if it gets stolen or something happens to it because it's not very expensive. So that particular scanner will be the Creator C310. Now, a lot of you guys see me before talk about this scanner, and this is just a cheap scanner, but it has a couple added bonuses to it, and it's going to get you out of trouble on the highway. This one's got me out of trouble many times on the highway. Let me show you how. Okay, so we got to hook up to the E39 here. Now, on E39, if you're out driving, you have any kind of issue, and the transmission goes into limp mode, you're stuck. What are you going to do? You going to drive this thing home in third gear? More likely, you're not. You're going to ruin the transmission, which is how a lot of them get to be on Craigslist with the ruined transmission. So we're going to go ahead and scan it here, diagnose, and then I'm just going to show you a couple examples. So it does everything, even up to F chassis. Can you even see that? There, geez. And we'll go and scan it like this. So this has three different, basically, destinations here: driver, chassis, and body. So this little scanner does all the SRS codes, all the ABS codes, and all the engine codes. And you can also clear adaptions with this, which is pretty rare. Try to get you in here so it stays focused. And it's pretty quick. Yeah, so no trouble codes. Does all the live data. All right, there's your clear adaptions for all your engine stuff. And it works really good for that. Okay, so that's one good use of a glove box scanner. Now, this not only does the P codes, it also does the OEM BMW codes. So that's a big help too. So you know both. Let's say you're driving an E90, 2006 BMW or newer, and your water pump fails. All right. Once the water pump fails, you're done. You're dead in the water. You're not going anywhere or doing anything at all. Most of the time, you could reset that and get that pump running good enough to get back home. Most of the time, that will do that. Not all the time, but most of the time it will. The next thing I would say would be safe mode for the engine. The half power mode, limp home mode. If you have a misfire, like we had in the E90, it would do two things. It would go either in limp home mode, where you could barely even drive it. You couldn't get up to speed on any kind of highway or anything. You could pull it out, not even have to turn the car off, reset it, and keep going. Look at this. I'm showing the headlights out again. What the hell? What the hell's going on? Turn it on. Battery dead in this turd? No, looks like it. And kind of dim. Anyhow, where was I at here? Moving on. You have to reset that code, right? So like on the E90, it would trip that code, and it also would just start misfiring. It wouldn't stop until either one, you stop and turn the car off, then it might reset it, or we're driving with a small scanner, you can reset it as you're driving, and there'd be no issue. Now, I did notice a few things with my big Altel. You had to turn the car off to actually reset the code. For this little guy, you don't have to. So any kind of misfire codes, transmission codes, water pump errors, if you're driving along and the check engine light pops on, your ABS light pops on, you can scan it immediately and tell what's happening, what's going on. You can also recalibrate your steering angle sensor with it, all kinds of stuff. In my book, this is the most important thing you can take with you. Does it do everything ISTA does? No, of course it doesn't, not even close. But it does all the basic functions that you need. I have to talk a little bit about the dead battery in E39. A lot of you guys say, oh, my E39 or my E60 or my whatever sets, you know, a week and a half, 2 weeks, and battery goes dead. Yeah, that's what happens. There's not much you can do about it. You might get a month out of it. If you're getting over a month and your battery's not dead, you're doing really good. This car has a brand new battery. You get, well, I had the door, I was fiddling with the lights, it went dead a little quicker. Usually I get about 2 weeks out of this. That E39, every E39, the X5, everything's the same way. Just a lot of electronics in the car, so you have to watch out for that also. You know, I usually carry, when I go on a trip, I'll carry the little scanner, I'll carry the jump pack, usually my auto jump pack. Any jump pack is sufficient, really. And whatever basic tools you need to change a belt, to access the belt stuff, a screwdriver too. A lot of guys will pack a little toolkit in their trunk that stays in the car all the time, so you can do basic functions. It is a good idea also to take a belt with you, a serpentine belt. Probably a good idea if you keep them spilling over. If you're gonna go on a longer trip, keep some coolant, keep some oil with you. I never leave home without my tire pressure gauge, my little air pump. I have an 18 volt. I think it's a Craftsman. It's some kind of junky one, but it works good. We can check tires on the go if we have a problem. We could fix all that on the side of the road. Even in the Sequoia, when I leave with it, I'll keep tire plugs in the glove box. If you're out somewhere, especially with the trailer, or if you're out with the car, you run over something, and you get out and you hear it hissing. Well, if you have tire plugs with you, get out and stab a plug in it, and you're fixed. If you have a tire pump with you, you can pump it up and be totally fixed until you get to a shop and get it plugged or patched, you know, correctly. Now with the trailer tires, we just stab a plug in them and look the other way. Nobody really cares. There's a lot of stuff you could really do to make your BMW experience a little better. And the wrong check engine light popping on or the wrong transmission light popping on is going to put a trip or even a 30-mile trip at a dead stop. Then you're having to call AAA. You're having to call your friends that have a trailer or a tow truck or whatever. You got to put some money out and a lot of time. Another thing too, if it's very cold outside like it is in Missouri, if it's 10 degrees outside and you break down, you're in trouble. You're in trouble real quick. So you want to have everything with you. This time of year, we don't leave without coats in the car. If something happens, you have to walk, you need to have a coat with you. A lot of things to think about. You know, there's a lot of issues that could arise on the road with really any car. Your best defense, though, is to make sure the car is up to date. Everything's great. You know, before this thing sets a week or two, and I want to take it on a trip, I check the air in the tires. I check all the coolant on a regular basis, the oil in all the cars, and on the newer ones while you're driving on a regular basis, and just try to keep everything up to par on it. Because if you don't, if you're like most people don't do that. Most people you see broke down the side of the interstate a lot, and those are people that don't do that. So this video is kind of bring a little bit of awareness to the glove box scanner, Easy Wheel. There's other scanners out there that do the same thing. This is one I'm familiar with. I think it's $50, $49 if I'm not mistaken. It's on Prime. I'll put a link in the description to this. This is not a sponsored video by any stretch. People ask me this all the time. This will get you by for a basic glove box scanner for simple codes, simple ABS and SRS codes also, and to do just about anything with the transmission. That's gonna be it, guys. Thanks for watching today's video. Hope this helped a few people out. We'll talk to you all very soon. Have a good day.